Alrighty guys, welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today I'm reviewing the Bad Batch Season 2 Episode 15, The Summit, which was directed by Nate Villanueva and written by Matt Michowitz. It was released on March 29th, 2023, which I really enjoyed this episode. It was, a lot like most of the other part ones of the two-parters this season. It's very much a part one of two. This episode does end on a cliffhanger, but it still had some big moments, so I really enjoyed. We see the return of Saw Gerrera, who we haven't seen in this series since the season 1 premiere, I think. He might have been in one of the episodes right after, but I can't remember. But I liked I'm picking back up on him and whatnot during this time. But I'm just going to dive right into the episode. It starts with the Bad Batch on Pabu, planning a mission to rescue Crosshair, which, they learn that Hemlock is set to go to this top secret summit at Tarkin's compound on Iriadu, which there they plan to go in, get into the compound, and plan a tracker on Hemlock's ship, which we see Hunter a little hesitant over the mission, but we see Tech tell him that even though they have their disagreements with Crosshair, he is still their brother, so they should go rescue him. But before they leave, we see Fee talk with Omega for a moment, but then Tech telling him to not run off with any pirates or smugglers, which Tech is like, well, yes, there won't be any of those on this mission, which Fee says that's not exactly what she was getting at, which is a funny moment. But this scene, I'll talk about more in my review for the next episode, because there's moments in that episode what, I can look back at that scene and whatnot. But we then see Hemlock arrive on Iriadu into this summit, which obviously Tarkin is there, but we see Krennic there, which obviously Krennic was the main villain from Rogue One, but in the episode he is voiced by Ben Mendelsohn, which is kind of weird because it was legitimately one line of dialogue. I don't know if they got him actually back to record that, or if they just reused dialogue from Rogue One. I'm not sure. It is weird that there's only one line. I would assume it probably would have been cheaper to just get another voice actor for it. But the other characters we see are Ramadi, who we see in Rogue One and briefly in A New Hope in the one scene on the Death Star. But the other character is a character named Barton Coburn, who appeared in a few episodes of the Clone Wars, which is definitely a deeper cut character. But obviously this is a direct spin-off of that series, so makes sense. But once Hemlock gets there, they start their meeting, which we then see the Bad Batch also arrive on Iriadu, and they get through the Imperial blockade and land on a mountain nearby, which you have to ride these rail cars, which are, under the rail cars, which are high up in the sky and whatnot, to get to the compound, which they easily do that. But once they get there, they take out some TK troopers guarding outside, and they get inside the base. And it cuts back over to Hemlock and the others in their meeting, which Hemlock talks about his plans for cloning and the clone troopers and whatnot, which he currently is wanting to use them for experiments, which we see Ramadi kind of talking about the Senate and how they won't agree with that, which Hemlock says that the Senate doesn't know about what he's doing. And we also see Coburn say that he served with the clones and thought they were cunning warriors and loyal to the end, so maybe they shouldn't be phasing them out. Which Tarkin is like, nah, they're reckless, and their loyalty is, kind of has made them too individual and not soldiers who are gonna blindly follow orders, even though they technically do that, but for Order 66, but obviously it was because of the chip. But we see Tarkin then ask Krennic for the status on Project Stardust, which Krennic says, yes, Governor Tarkin, which, like I said earlier, that was his only lines in the episode, which I just find it funny that they got Ben Mendelsohn back to do that. But in the scene, there was we kind of hear the Rogue One theme, or I guess maybe Jyn Erso theme play as a kind of a remixed version of that, so I thought that was neat. But we see the Bad Batch then get to the hangar, but they don't know which ship is Hemlock's, so we see Hunter, Tech, and Echo go up to the control room to find out while Wrecker and Omega stay to eventually plant the homing beacon, which once they're in the control room, Deck finds out which ship is Hemlock's. But while in the control room, Echo notices that the security systems have had cycle deactivations. So we see Hunter and Deck go to investigate it while Echo stays in the control room. But we then see Omega kind of then go to plant the homing beacon, which she has to maneuver around with the limited cover. But she does get to the ship and plants it, but she can't make it back. So Echo creates a distraction by turning on this crane. But Omega then gets spotted by a mouse droid, but Wrecker is there to destroy it. But there's a scene with the security officer getting notified of the crane malfunction and also the disabled security system, so they put the base on alert. But we then see Hunter and Deck continuing going through the base, noticing more and more cameras offline, which they get into a room where Hunter notices a thermal detonator is planted in there, which we then see Saw Gerrera and one other person reveal themselves, which Saw tells them that, what he plans to do and whatnot. He is also interested to see them and kind of talks about how they listened to what he told them beforehand when they met at the beginning of the series. But like I said, he tells them what he plans to do, which is to blow up the base, to kill the Tarkin, Hemlock, and whatnot, which they try to tell Saw that they're tracking one of those officers so they can save some clone prisoners, which Saw says he's not going to give up on his mission to save some prisoners because blowing up the base and killing those high-level officers will help out more, which Tech says that they'll just replace them with other ones. But Saw says that, they might, but it is worth trying. But then some TK troopers come in and Saw and his person get away while Hunter and Tech have to fight them. But they escape and alert the others to get back to the rail cars. We see Saw alert his people, which they won't be able to target the command center, which I guess is where maybe Tarkin, Hemlock, and the others are. But we then see the compound go on full lockdown because now they know that they're there. But we see the Mad Batch reunite and get to the rail cars. But some TK troopers board it also. So while it's going, they have to kind of fight them off and whatnot. Which during this, we see Saw and his people reunite and they steal one of the ships in the hangar. And then once they're away, Saw blows up the base, which blows up Hemlock's ship and ends up doing nothing to Tarkin, Hemlock, and the others. But it also does disable the rail line, so the Bad Batch are stuck in the car while another car is right by them full of TK troopers. And the TK troopers are still in the one they're in, which that's where the episode ends. Which, like I said, I enjoyed it. I like the mission to get into the base. And I like how it kind of goes wrong, not because of the Empire, but because of others trying to fight the Empire. Which, obviously, I don't think what Saw was doing was wrong. It makes sense for what he was trying to do. Just ended up, unfortunately, getting in the way with what the Bad Batch were trying to do. So, I really like that about this episode. But I was kind of surprised because I was kind of expecting the Bad Batch to just easily get to Mount Tantus and pull off the rescue mission on Crosshair. But this episode ended up being the opposite. And, I've already watched the final episode of Season 2, so I know 100% that's what not happened. So, yeah. But, I like this episode. Thought it was a great mission gone wrong episode, which I'll talk about the fallout of it in the next review for episode 16. But for now, my grade for this episode is going to be an A-. So yeah, but that's going to be it for this one. Like I said, you can check out my review of episode 16 when I release that. So yeah, but before that, you check out all my other Bad Batch reviews and everything else I do. I've been sorry to not catch you guys in the next one.
The top team, the rogue clones on the run from the Empire, huh?
Hello.
How juicy.
The Empire's growing stronger. We should be doing more.